My cousin, 23-year-old female, recently opened up her own salon. From a young age, she taught herself how to thread, wax eyebrows, and developed an interest in hair and makeup. Everyone in our extended family would go to her before events and on a monthly basis for their threading, waxing, hair, makeup needs, etc. In 2020, she had a full-time job, non-salon related, but decided to renovate the basement of her home to create a small salon space. She now spends her free time taking in clients at her in-home salon, and there's nothing but great reviews. Her sister helped with the renovations and now helps her with marketing the business, social media, community pages, etc. And ahead with the finances, budgeting, and price setting. We all support her and are really proud of her. The salon is our baby. We're in the middle of the pandemic right as this is being read, and it's greatly affected her salon business. As a result, she implemented safety measures, and our small team made sure to keep up with the COVID regulations in our city. This included having one customer at a time, temperature checks, masks and face shields, gloves mandatory, wiping the salon to disinfect after each visit, etc. Also, when our city was in lockdown, the salon was closed as it is not an essential service. Then comes the incident. Our city is once again in lockdown since the end of December to the end of January. The salon has been closed since the lockdown began. The salon's social media pages have been updated to let the current clientele know the salon is closed. Now comes the Karen. Karen sees a community post from October detailing a discount from the salon was having on a certain back package we offer. She comments on the post saying she can't believe the salon is open in the middle of a lockdown and her salon has to be closed. This is important later. Karen fails to notice that this was the post that was made in October, when salons are allowed to operate as long as they follow the safety regulations. Karen doesn't bother checking more recent posts indicating the salon was closed, and my cousin doesn't see her reply at this time. The next day, 2 police officers show up at my cousin's door while she's at a doctor's appointment. The officers ask for my cousin, and my aunt lets them know that she's not home right now. My aunt does not speak English very well and lets the officers know that she could call my cousin and ask her to come home. Maybe the officers didn't believe her, but they insisted on coming inside the home. My aunt had already called my cousin, who was worried. My cousin asked what it was about, but my aunt didn't know. That's hard. My cousin then asked if they had a warrant for anything. She found they didn't, and she told her mom not to let them come inside and she would be there in about 20 minutes. My cousin began driving when the aunt called to let them know that they simply left upon asking for a warrant. Shady guys, you kind of come with a warrant to enter somebody's house unless there's probable cause. Hearing this, my cousin was less worried and decided to go to a grocery store shopping as planned before heading home. Turns out, the officers came back just half an hour later and once again demanded to see my cousin. My aunt called my cousin again and asked her to come home, but the 20 minutes she took to come home, the officers were gone. They had left a card and asked to call back. My cousin managed to get a hold of the officers and was told that someone had reported her business. They claimed that she was ordering and operating during the lockdown, and they had proof. My cousin knew this wasn't true as the salon had been closed for quite a while. By now, my cousin had seen the comment from earlier and mentioned that she knew exactly what their so-called proof was, but that it was a post from October. My cousin was very upset at this post and was not even close to being actual evidence of her operating. Now, in January, she was also very upset and insisted on coming inside the house with no cause or warrant when they were clearly see that my aunt does not understand the language very well. At the end of the conversation, the police officer apologized to my cousin, and we thought that was the end of it. You must be wondering, how we know that Karen was one who called the cops? Well, she told us. The next day, my cousin received a message she realized was from the woman who commented on the post. Karen decided to pretend she was a customer. Enter Karen.
Can I book an appointment?
My cousin. Hi, love. We're currently closed due to the lockdown. Once the lockdown is over, we will be more than happy to book you in.
Oh, my girlfriend was in there yesterday. My apologies.
You must have gotten the date wrong. The salon is actually not taking clients until the lockdown is over. Thank you.
No problem, but I did not get the date wrong. Also, I know the police came
to you being opened, so take care. I'm not going to sit here and entertain your boring life, my cousin responds. Maybe for a change, you can find another hobby rather than spending time to spread lies and wasting other people's time, including the police time, or even better, find an actual job. Good night. I own my own spa that's been closed, as yours should be. My mom was the one who called the cops. You're not entertaining me at all. Go back to your own country instead of fucking with ours. My cousin just decided to block her at that point. My cousin was happy this was all over, and her sister and I were still outraged at the fact this racist comment and how someone could make up lies about a small business that led to the cops terrifying my aunt. When my cousin told me about Karen, the fact that she and her own spa really stood out, I did some digging. Enter the revenge. Turns out Karen runs her own spa out of her own house. Doing some more snooping, I found some reviews from her clients on her business page that were posted on days when the city was in lockdown. The reviews could be from clients who received services before the lockdown and only now had a chance to write a review. To be sure, I found Karen's Instagram page, decided to use her own trick against her, and create a new account with a generic name and followed her page so she couldn't see that I was related to my cousin. When I messaged her about it and asked the price for services, it went something like this. Me. Hey, I love your pics. I was wondering how much you charge. Hey girl, thank you so much. What services are you after? Karen responds. Me, I'm really interested in the BB Glow Facial. Karen, that's awesome and our biggest seller for sure. Normally it's $125, but there's a BOGO, so you pay if you get one session or two. That's a great deal compared to the others. When is your next available date? Karen, where are you located? I can't have people come to me during lockdown, but I travel to my clients. In other words, Karen was not operating from her home location due to lockdown restrictions, but was traveling to her clients' homes, which is still against regulations. When I made up a lie about my home not having an adequate space and asked her for her address so we could meet up at my friend's place somewhere between her and I's location, she foolishly told me her address. During this time, I also tried joining other community pages that she was part of. In one particular group, people in the community were promoting their small businesses. She had recently made a post about discounts on her services for the month of January. Unreal. I immediately went online and submitted a report about her business still operating, including screenshots, her address, full name, etc. A few days later passed by and I had forgotten to check up and was, back with my busy life. I saw the instant report number on a sticky note I had on my desk and decided to check in. Apparently, this was not Karen's first offense. Karen had already been fined $750 for having a client in her home during the first lockdown in my city. After being fined, she decided to change her business model and go to the client's home instead. Now she was being fined $10,000. I was still following her on Instagram, so I decided to check it out. She had gone on a rant about how she was going to have to do very bad things to the person who reported her. She also mentioned that she was no longer allowed to run her business. I'm not sure what type of ban the regional police put on her, but I immediately deleted the account and exited the groups that I had joined earlier. At the end of the day, Karen got what she deserved and I fulfilled my dream of pretending to be Sherlock Holmes.